Alright, so we're going to take a little bit of a look at stitch construction and how those knitted stitch forms, what they're doing when you're putting those loops over there, so that we can see how to put a lifeline in, so that when you make a mistake, you can go back, and only if you need to rip back, you're only going to rip back to that point. So it's kind of important to know how those stitches are created to do this. So what I've done is I've done what's called a duplicate stitch. I just took my red yarn here and I ran it over the path of this knit stitch. So the knit stitch is all these series, or the knit side of our stockinette here, is all the side of these pretty little V's. I love the V's. It's one of the things that made me want to knit. And you can see the loop goes up and behind that V loop in front of it. So when you're knitting, you're making a series of these and then you're interlocking another series of loops. That's all it is. Loops and string. And on the back side, we see our purl bump. The reverse of a knit is a purl. So you get your purl bump on the back. And when we've got our garter stitch, which we've done on our edge here, which means that we've knit both front and back. Okay, you've got those same loops following through. So I've got my V loops over here, and then you'll see I've got purl bumps, but it's looping through them and looping through them. Here we've got another example. If I were to take my needle and go up, around, down through, that's the path that it takes. Same thing, another loop. So that's our whole row here. Alright, and that's important to know because if we want to put our needle back in, we've got to know how to grab those loops if we've dropped something. So to put a lifeline in, I'm going to take these out now. You guys can see where those V's are. Let me just rip that little bit of waste yarn out. Easy peasy. What we're going to want to do is put this string in through the loops of the row that we want to rip back to, as though it were our needle. Okay? Leg of the loop on one side, leg of the loop on the back side. So we're going to grab one leg of each one of our loops in a row. Go back out a little bit here. Come on, camera. Alright, camera does not want to cooperate, so hopefully we can do this from a distance. So to put a lifeline in, this is really good for if you're doing stitch work, like lace work, and you've got some crazy stitches or cables or something, and you're just not confident that you're going to be able to keep track of it all, or you've lost track and you have to go back and fix it. Again, you don't have to rip out your whole project. You know, you're right near the end and then realize, oh gosh, I messed up, but I've got the whole front of my sweater knit except for at the neckline. Yeah, well, we're not going to rip the whole thing out. So what you do, you look for your loops and your legs. So I'm going to pick up, put my tapestry needle with thread on it through the front leg or the right hand leg of a loop. Okay, so right there. Oop, I slipped. Where are you? Okay. Looking at my next V, my loop, put it under and through, leaving my other leg behind. Make sure you're not splitting there. Okay, and go to the next one, next loop in the line. Put my tapestry needle in under that leg, right like that. Okay, and we're going to keep doing that. Do it again. Now I'm on my knit stitch. I'm going to grab one. Go to my knit stitch, go under that leg, grab it. Go to the next one. And as I pull my yarn through, I've got a line. And I missed a stitch. We'll go back and get that. The whole point of this is that we don't end up dropping any. Okay, so here we go. Go back into that puppy again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if you also have a long, thin, circular needle, you can do it with your circs as well. Okay, so now we've got our thread going through each of those little loops. I'm going to just finish up here. Grab one. Grab one. Grab one. Okay, I'm back over here to my purl side. Right. So grab that leg, or my garter side, garter stitch edge I should say. Go under, and I do find it much easier to work from a stockinette knit side than a purl, because you can just see those legs so much easier. Okay, so there we go. We've got our lifeline in. Now I'm going to take my needle out and fry it. And if I picked them up right, boom, got a little bit of a snag here, so I kind of messed up a little bit there, but it's okay. You've got the majority of your knitting all on that. You come back in, and then you slide your needle right along where that thread is and grab the loops. But see, those loops aren't going to drop or go anywhere, including, you know, I may have grabbed the wrong one over here. That's okay. Again, like I said, because they're not going to drop anywhere. They're not going anywhere. You might notice too I'm using little double pointed needles. Wouldn't normally do that, but the little box I've got set up for my camera here keeps me from using anything longer. So that's what I'm doing. Alright. Here's my other little needle. Let's see what I did here. And then I can just pull my red yarn out and my work is back on my knitting. Voila!